So as we continue on to accessibility features, I want to just remember that technology is best used in skills that have already been taught to some degree. So again, we want to use technology for that enrichment, review, and practice. I also wanted to remind you the difference between blended learning versus the flipped classroom. The flipped classroom was the initial start where students would watch videos at home and gather instruction and then come into school the next day and apply that knowledge and work with the teacher. The difference between the flipped classroom and blended learning is a little bit more research-based. It took the problems and the strengths from the flipped classroom and put them together, saying you have to have both. You have to have the research-based best practices, what's going on in the classroom, the teaching going on in the classroom, and it's great to have some instruction going on outside of the classroom at home, something they can see, watch, or do that instructs them so that they can get into the nitty-gritty with the teacher at school. So again, the blended classroom is kind of what we're looking at now. The flipped classroom is the beginning initial start of what turned into a better practice, the blended classroom. So I'm going to show you the ease of access or accessibility features. Where you find these on any Windows or PC program really is in the control panel. So you're just going to go to your basic control panel. If you can't find your control panel, you can use the search button and type in control panel. Usually your control panel will be under your desktop at either the bottom right or bottom left of a computer. Once you get to your control panel, this is pretty much what you'll see. What you're going to look for is the Ease of Access Center. So once you click on Ease of Access, again, you'll have to click it twice, Ease of Access Center.
Always scan this section.
When you get here, I have this always reading aloud what our options are. The first option we have is the Start Magnifier. When you click on the Start Magnifier, what that does is it'll allow everything you see to be magnified. So we can go, for anyone who has vision impairments, this is a great way for them to see everything larger.
Start Narrator.
You can also make the magnifier according to the levels you're needing.
Start on screen key.
So when you click the Start Magnifier, this is what will come up. You get to choose how big or how small you would like the screen to be magnified. You can choose exactly how you want to view it in a lens or docked or how much, and then there are other little options that you can choose that really help in the magnifying of your computer screen. The on-screen keyboard is a mini keyboard that's going to pop up that you can use instead of your basic keyboard. You can use this in Word, in any sort of device that we want to use. What's nice about it is that it has the most frequently used words spelled at the top for you, so you can also use full words instead of just using individual letters when you spell. You can use it on Microsoft Word, an email, or really any device, publisher, anything that you would like to use. And that again is the on-screen keyboard. The next one I want to show you is Start Narrator. What Start Narrator does,
Ease of Access Center window. Start Narrator button. Alt+N. Narrator reads aloud text on the screen.
is reads everything on the screen to you. So whenever you were to click on something, it would read it to you.
Program Manager. Pane. Selected. Ia Lupus. Selected. Gifted and Talented Staff Presentation Differentiation. Tooltip. Gifted and Talented Staff Presentation Differentiation.
So the next section we're going to look at is to set up the high contrast.
Ease of Access Center.
This is where you'll find where to turn on or off the narrator once you start it, and to turn on an audio description. So that provides a description of everything that's happening in the video. So if you can't see it, you can hear all about it. You can also turn on the magnifier here, or you can choose that high contrast theme here for, again, students who may have any sort of visual delay or visual need for an accommodation. That's where you would find it. Also in the Ease of Access Center, you'll find at the very bottom, again, you go to Ease of Access Center, and when you go to the bottom, it'll provide other accommodations such as use the computer without a display, make the computer easier to view, mouse accommodations, and visual and sound accommodations, and then at the bottom, making it easier to touch or easier to focus on specific tasks. So here we're going to go again to the control panel, Ease of Access Center, and we're doing speech recognition. When we start speech recognition, remember you're looking at your microphone. The better your microphone, the better actually the more able it is to read exactly what you're saying and type it as you're saying it. Some microphones are better than others, and some make it jarbled or will get the wrong word. The more you use it, the more the device will be able to understand your dialect, your tone, and your voice. So again, you can choose to set all of these up. You start with the setting up your speech recognition. You go through and decide which kind you would like. You set up the placement of the microphone, and it records whether you're talking and how you're talking, and it will kind of let you know. You're going to read that sentence. Peter dictates to his computer. He prefers it to typing, and particularly prefers it to pen and paper. And it says, really the computer didn't hear very well. So I could put in a microphone and that would improve the hearing. Then I can improve speech recognition by either making a document review or not. And again, we can cancel this. So that's where you would set up your speech recognition devices. Remember, all of these features come free with Windows, and they're available in the control panel. Again, you're looking at the Ease of Access Center. Now let's look at the accessibility features in iPads. This is an iOS 7, but there are also accessibility features in almost all versions 4, 5, and 6.
Settings.
You'll start out by going to Settings and General.
Then on the right side, I'm going to choose Accessibility. And right off the bat, you'll notice that whereas before the accessibility options were at the bottom of this pane on the right side, they're now closer to the top, where they're much easier to find. So I'm going to Accessibility, and the options are organized in the same way as before, as vision, hearing, learning, physical, and motor. You'll notice that the triple-click home option is now called the accessibility shortcut, but it still works the same way as before. If I go into VoiceOver, there are a couple of options here that allow you to customize VoiceOver. You can turn off the sound cues that VoiceOver uses, so you can leave it to just use the speech. I can also enable a large cursor, which I love because it helps me see the VoiceOver cursor much better. There's also enhanced support for Braille, and this includes the use of Nemeth code for equations, as well as automatic Braille translation. And the language rotor is now called the Languages and Dialects option. In here, you can enable different dialects and languages, and for these, you can download an enhanced quality voice, as well as adjust the speaking rate independently for each of them. You have a lot of these same language options available for speak selection, and in the rotor, there's a new option called handwriting that allows you to enter text just by drawing it on the screen, which will make it much easier to enter text with VoiceOver. And then you can customize the appearance of iOS by enabling large type, making the text bold, and even reducing the motion effect. For those with a hearing loss, the support for closed captioning has been improved so that you now have one place where you enable or disable captions in the accessibility settings, but also you can customize the appearance of the captions and even create your own styles for how they are displayed. So great new addition. Guided access has been enhanced so that now you can use the accessibility shortcut, or what used to be called triple-click home, even while guided access is running. That way you can use other accessibility features such as VoiceOver in conjunction with guided access. In addition to that, you can not only disable the home button, but also the volume buttons and the wake and sleep button. And then finally, there's a new feature called switch control, which should be a great benefit to anyone who has a motor or cognitive impairment and relies on external adaptive technology. The nice thing about switch control is that you can also use your head motion, or you can just tap on the screen and use that as a switch. So let's take a quick look at how that works. So I've set up the switch control to use my screen as a switch. So all I need to do is tap on the screen, and that's the equivalent of pressing a button on a switch. So this is highly customizable. You can adjust a lot of the timings. You can even use your head to perform certain actions. Like right now I have my head set so that when I move to the left or I move my head to the left, it's the equivalent of pressing the home button. And then you can adjust the appearance of that cursor that travels across the screen. So this is a new feature in iOS that I'm really excited about, because I think it's going to bring a lot of the accessibility support that those of us who are blind or visually impaired have enjoyed. Now people with motor or cognitive disabilities are going to be able to take advantage of. So that's just a quick overview of some of the enhanced or new accessibility features in iOS 7. I'm going to discuss these in more details in the other videos in this series, so I hope you'll join me for those.
Luis Perez has a whole collection of videos that you can go on and watch if you have iPads and want to learn more about some of the features. There are also a few YouTube videos on other accessibility features in Windows. If you Google under YouTube, some of those will pop up as well. To close this week's learning, the Department of Rehabilitation and Assistive Technology has created a video that I thought might be helpful for you as you decide which forms of assistive technology you'd like to discuss on your project. Remember, your projects need to be uploaded both to TaskStream and to Moodle in order to be graded correctly and to ensure that they're on both. If you don't have a TaskStream account or you don't use TaskStream for your masters, then don't worry about it. This is just for those students who need it to be a part of TaskStream. So this video is just a really quick clip. It just provides some assistive technology pieces. I'm not going to take you through all of them, but I want you to just kind of see as you're thinking about different things that you might have for your assistive technology project.
Technology is anything or any tool that can make life easier and increase independence for people with disabilities. It includes a wide range of tools. From simple magnifiers to complex computers, assistive technology can make a variety of solutions. Many of the tools are simple and low cost, yet they provide lots of support to students who have a hard time learning. An array of tools from reading rulers, highlighting tape, to books on tape can improve a student's ability to read well and understand what they read. There are also many tools that make note-taking a cinch. Allie likes to use her portable keyboard note-taker, but her classmates prefer the digital recorder and the note-taking pen. When text is read aloud to struggling students, reading problems no longer stand in the way of learning.
It is a story full of adventure, passion, and mystery.
A whole new world can open up with the use of assistive technology. Simple tools can pave the way to academic and personal success and let students discover their hidden potential. Assistive technology is also a wonderful way for adults who have intellectual challenges